Great morning, my dear students. Welcome to the science class. My name is Jyoti and I am your science educator. And today we are going to discuss about the chapter that is Adaptation for Survival in Animals. And this is the fourth chapter of your science book. Before this, we have completed 3 chapters. So let's start discussing about this chapter in detail. First of all, you should know the meaning of adaptation. Adaptation is a change in structure, function or behavior by which an individual improves its chances of survival in a specific environment. That I have told you this definition in the chapter 2nd as well, that adaptation for survival in plants, that adaptation is any change. It can be in structure, it can be in the function or it can be in the behavior of the organism. If the organism adapted itself according to the environment or according to the climatic condition, that is known as its adaptation. Okay, so adaptation is the change in structure, function or behavior by which an individual improves its chances of survival in a specific environment. Secondly, let's discuss about adaptation to habitats. Habitat is the natural home of an organism or an animal. It provides food, water and shelter which an animal needs to survive. There is a variety of habitats on the earth, and on the basis of habitat, animals can be grouped into the 5 categories. That can be terrestrial animals, aquatic animals, amphibian animals, aerial animals and arboreal animals. Now let's discuss about the terrestrial animals in details. Terrestrial animals. Terrestrial animals are those animals which live on land. Those animals which live on land. Those are known as terrestrial animals. And there are some examples of terrestrial animals, that is cat, dog, horses, lions are some example of terrestrial animals. Okay, and let's discuss about the adaptations of terrestrial animals. What are their adaptations? Adaptation of terrestrial animals. There are various kinds of adaptation of the terrestrial animals, that they have well developed nervous system, means they have very well developed brain which enables them to sense changes in their surroundings, and most of them have 4 legs which help them to walk, jump and move on the land or to hunt and defend themselves. Exceptions like snake. There is an exception of 4 legs. They don't have legs. They have scales or plates on them. Because of scales and plates, they can crawl on the ground. They can crawl with the help of the scales and plates. And the terrestrial animals have lungs inside them. With the help of the lungs, they can breathe properly. Okay, and animals living in desert have a thick skin with very little hair on it. Their skin protects them from the burning heat of the sun. Some of these animals like camel. Camel have special organ to store water because water is not easily available in deserts. You can see the picture of the camel, that there is a very special organ in the camel. They can store fat in the hump. This is known as hump. And the 5th adaptation is animals living in cold regions like yak and polar bears. This is yak and this is polar bear, have a thick skin with the fur on it to keep them warm. Because of the layer of the fur, they can keep their body warm. Okay, and some of them like penguins and seals have a thick layer of fat under their skin called blubber. This is blubber. This layer keeps them warm in the cold regions, in the cold environment. Okay, and animals like bear, and frog become inactive and sleep for several months in cold conditions to protect themselves from cold, and this is known as hibernation. It is also known as winter sleep. It is also known as winter sleep. That frog and bear, these animals go in hibernation. They sleep for the several months. Okay, this is known as winter sleep. So these are the adaptation of the terrestrial animals. The second category of the animals which is divided on the basis of habitat is aquatic animals. Aquatic animals are those animals which live in water. They live in water. For example, fish, seahorse and octopus are some aquatic animals. There are some adaptations of aquatic animals. For example, they have fins or limbs to help them to swim. The limbs or the fins of the aquatic animals, they help them to swim. Okay, and some animals like ducks and geese have webbed feet. They have webbed feet which help them to push water back while swimming. So these webbed feet help them to push water back while swimming. Okay, aquatic animals have gills through which they breathe, and there is an exception which does not have gills, the whale. Whales do not have gills inside them. They have lungs through which they breathe. Okay, so these are some adaptation of the aquatic animals. And the third category on the basis of the habitat is amphibians. This is the third category. Amphibians are the animals that can live both on land as well as in the water. These are the animals which can live on the land as well as in the water, and they have various kinds of adaptation. Before this, let me give you some example of amphibians. Amphibians, there are frogs, toads and newts. These are some amphibians. And let's discuss about the adaptations now. They have various kinds of adaptation. First of all, they have limbs. They have limbs to facilitate swimming. Okay, to facilitate swimming. They can swim with the help of the limbs. Okay, and some of them have webbed feet. These are the webbed feet of the frog. They can swim with the help of the webbed feet and their tail. Okay, they can breathe through their moist skin when they are in water, and on land they can breathe through their lungs. Okay, when they are in water they can breathe through their moist skin. Okay, and when they are outside the water they can breathe through their lungs because they have lungs inside them. Okay, so these are the some adaptation of amphibians. Now let's discuss about the fourth category of animals, that is aerial animals. Aerial animals are those animals that can fly. Okay, that can fly in the sky. So these are known as aerial animals, and they have various adaptations. For example, they have wings. And they also have feathers. With the help of the wings as well as with the help of the feathers, they can fly in the sky very easily. And feathers also keep them warm. Keep them warm. Okay. So feather helps in two things. That is, they help during the flight as well as they keep their body warm. Okay. And their body is very light. Their body is very light because they have hollow bones, and their body is narrow in the front and at the back. Okay, and broad in the middle. They have broad structure in the middle. This shape helps them to cut through the air and fly easily.